Morning! I hope you're doing really well. I am finally on my little road trip that I've had planned for quite some time. Super excited to be back in my gorgeous van. I really love staying in the van, and more often than not this is just used to transport around all the kids that my partner and I have together. So it's quite nice to rip that second row of seats out and put my sliding bike rack in, head off to do some cycling and some camping. So stoked on that. Slightly less stoked on what happened yesterday on the very first day of my long-awaited trip. So I'm up in Hathersage in the Peak District visiting my dad. I grew up here. I love the riding. It's just such a gorgeous part of the world, and the gravel trails and mountain bike trails and roads are amazing. So yesterday it was so sunny and gorgeous, and I was just super stoked to get out on my bike. For various reasons, I've been having a bit of a rough few days, and I just knew that I needed to be cycling. That would reset me, and then long story short, I just needed to be on a bike. So I head off, and I didn't get very far at all before I noticed something really weird going on with my bike. So I got off, got my tools out, I recentered the rear brake because it felt like something was rubbing. I carried on, it felt slightly better. I recentered the front brake. I started tweaking everything, and I'm just thinking, what is going on with my bike? So looking down, I could see that my rear tyre was rubbing on the frame. I just thought, like, I've run 45C tyres before. How is this even possible? So I kept going, when I say keep going, I go like 10 metres, and I was just completely baffled. So I got off the bike again and started to inspect it again, and that is when I saw it. A massive crack in my frame. So all I can think is that when I crashed on Monday and did this and ripped my lovely 7 mesh jacket, I must have smacked a rock really hard or landed really awkwardly, and I didn't realise at the time. We were nearly at the end of our ride, so I guess I put a small fracture into the frame and that weakened it, and then when I got on it yesterday it crumpled it. I just don't know. I mean, I've crashed that bike quite a lot and it's been totally fine, so clearly it's a strong, durable bike, and I'm always perfectly confident in riding carbon gravel bike. But yeah, nothing is infallible, and I guess just that one particular time I landed awkwardly or some fluky thing happened, so poo! Obviously, I was super disappointed about breaking my bike. I mean, that totally sucks, obviously. But in the short term, I was massively annoyed that I wouldn't be able to go and ride with Peak Gravel Gang, which is what I'm doing today. And also super bummed about not being able to ride yesterday in the sun. So I came up with this fantastic plan of visiting the guys in Alp Kit and seeing if I could hire one of their Sonda Caminos. And they very kindly let me do that gratis as well. So thank you so much, Nelson. And I went out on my ride yesterday, and today I'm going to meet the Peak Gravel Gang. So, bit of a long intro this one. Peak Gravel Gang, they're up in the Peak District. They organise, I think, 3 rides a month. The first ride each month is the shorter, easier one. The middle of the month is a slightly longer one with a bit more climbing. And the last one of the month is the longest or most difficult one of all. It's mid-month, so I'm doing the middle of the road one, middle of the gravel road one, and I'm excited to ride some new trails because we're meeting up in Chesterfield and I haven't ever ridden gravel over there. Always feel slightly awkward turning up to group events with my camera and starting to film. I don't know anyone on this ride. Will they think I'm a dick? I don't know. It just makes me feel a bit weird. So I will try, and I don't know, do I like surreptitiously get my GoPro out and film a few bits when I'm at the back, or do I just rock up with the camera? I don't know. I'm going to get there because I'm not late. I'm going to leave now and then I won't be late. In fact, I'm going to be early. Let's go. I mean, my bike's there. Helmet, shoes, Garmin. Yeah. Let's go. So stoked that Alpkit have lent me this bike, but obviously I'm really hoping that I can get my own bike replaced before the rest of the trip. I'm meant to be racing, as you know, in Scotland, the UCI World Series gravel race. Even though it's a week away, I'm still umming and ahhing about that because it's the same weekend as Sisters in the Wild Summer Gathering, which is a weekend of campfires, gravel rides, talks, chats, beers, and all that fun stuff. So quite the opposite end of the spectrum to the UCI gravel race. But anyway, cut a long story short, I need a bike. So Marin are on the case and they're going to try ship me one overnight so that I can continue the rest of the trip with my own bike. But yeah, well, nothing's certain, so we'll have to see how that one goes. But at least I've got a bike to ride today. Hooray! We're off. Amazed at the turnout. There are 22 riders. I think we're heading off on an 18-mile route or thereabouts. Heading up a hill just now. So far, the vibe I get is it's a cycling club for people who don't like cycling clubs. So that's pretty cool. Trails are so dry and it's so sunny. I wasn't expecting this. Thank you. This is my kind of ride. I was about to do a skid earlier and then I realised I'd be yanking the front brake instead of the back. I've got my brakes back to front because I run mine reverse and obviously the Camino is set up normal style, so you'll have to try and remember that when I'm going down this hill. Oh, who put all this mud here? It is so muddy, like basically impossible to ride. Your back wheel just starts spinning, so everyone is pushing up. Check it out.
Yeah, try and get on the grass here.
It reminds me of those photos in the Rough Stuff archive where people are taking their bikes on really silly rides. But actually this is a really good one and I've ridden it before when it wasn't like this. But you get my point.
I totally see why you bought a mountain bike. Oh, I'm sorry mate, I'm sorry.
Let's go! Well, that was quite funny. It is so muddy. I just had to change my GoPro battery, otherwise I'd have filmed it. But what was quite nice is that there's so little bravado on this ride. If people wanted to walk, they just walked, and we just pushed bikes, walked round, got through it however we wanted, which is nice, refreshing contrast to a normal kind of club run, and that's really why I came on this ride. Oh, do I want to ride through that? Yes, I do. Woo! That's some mud. I've only just cleaned these bloody shoes.
This is at the harder end of intermediate.
So far, there's been some dry, quite hard-packed, gravelly stuff at the start that lulled us all into a false sense of security. And then it's turned super muddy and quite techy. So there's been some pushing, lots of sweetie eating, some waiting, loads of laughing. And it's really nice to not having off to push being an issue. It's really nice. So having a good day, and I like this kind of thing. It's good, it's good. drive. That was fun. The Garmin watch keeps trying to send an alert to my partner that I've had a crash. Oh no! Okay, so final and most important part of the ride. We're heading to, well, we were heading to a cafe, but apparently the cafe is next to a pub. So I'm not totally sure which one we're going to choose. Either way, we're heading on down a bridleway and going somewhere for a refreshment and a chat. Oh,
That was pretty cool.
probably the most fun descent, I think. Just those little...
Yeah, it's just beautiful. It's just that nice.
Are we doing pub or are we doing tea room?
I don't think the tea room would do alcohol.
Oh. You think?
So there we go. Pub.
Pub.
For a cold cider.
Oh, heaven. And I'm back. Man, that was fun. You know what? We only did 25k, which is not a lot considering we set off at 9:30. But who cares? The whole point of these rides, I'm sure, is that everyone has a good time. It's a modest speed, but just so fun and such nice people. Everyone was so friendly and welcoming, and that's why I wanted to come on this ride. I was thinking I should do a series of videos highlighting the kind of groups that put on these events, because they're just so fun and I always seek them out, and so I want to share them with you in case you want to go on rides like this where, you know, it's all about just enjoying bikes. If you know any groups that are like this, that are inclusive and inviting and more about just having a laugh on bikes than suffering pain and all that other side of it, which I think is pretty well covered by most traditional cycling clubs, then do let me know in the comments, because I want to share those with everyone and I want to visit them. So yeah, I'm gonna get the dirty bike on the back of the van and get that cleaned up before I give it back to Alpkit. And I've just heard that Marin are sending me a new bike to arrive at my dad's place in Hathersage, so happy days. Might have to rearrange the rest of my week and rejig a few things I was looking forward to so that I've got time to set it up and make sure that it's all working before I head to Scotland. But hey, I've got a bike on the way, I've got one I'm riding now, I met some lovely people, I had a pint, so all good. Hope you're doing well. Check out the route on Strava if you want to know where we went. It was a great route, so thank you Dave for taking us, and thanks to everyone. See you later, bye.